carpet bombing the organization. Leaders who talk to think. Some leaders, specifically those with a visionary style, use debate and discussion as a way to frame their thoughts and opinions. To find out what they really think about a problem or issue, they'll often set up a straw man, usually a stance directly opposite to that which they've been presented, then challenge others to push back with their thoughts and opinions. Eventually, out of this sometimes heated discussion, the theory is a true and tested consensus will emerge, honed and strengthened by that rigorous debate. All well and good, and if used properly, very powerful. At least that's how it starts out. Unfortunately, over time, the visionary leader's habit of talking to think very often degenerates into a tic or identifying characteristic and becomes less of a useful tool than an irritating source of confusion to others. This happens if and when the leader loses sight of the single most important part of talking to think, that is, involving others in the talking part. Whether because they grow to like the sound of their own voice, or because they like to combine talking to think with manipulating their team, or simply because they surround themselves with weak people, eventually what were once vibrant discussions descend into monologues, and often rambling, self-contradictory, seemingly schizophrenic monologues at that. This is bad enough in itself. Who wants to hear their leader sound like King Lear on a bad night? But it's positively dangerous to the growth of the organization when it's left unchecked. Eventually, subconsciously aware that he or she has lost the interest of their immediate audience, i.e. their direct reports, the visionary leader who needs to talk to think begins to prowl the corridors, reaching down and across the org chart to find someone before whom they can muse. Corridor discussions, ad hoc chats, texts out of the blue, lengthy emails to surprised subordinates, hijacked meetings, they all play their part in helping scratch the itch of the visionary leader talking to think. I needn't write a paragraph explaining what happens next. You've either experienced firsthand or you can imagine the havoc wreaked when the visionary leader's assorted time bombs of musings start to explode throughout the organization. Boom. She said, "What now?" Boom. "We're doing that?" Boom. "He can't be serious." Boom. "Now that's not what he said to me." Boom. "That doesn't make sense." Boom. "But that's not what we agreed last week." Boom. "So that's our policy now?" Boom. "When did we decide that?" You get the idea. Let me be straight. These are not necessarily bad leaders. They just suffer from a talking to think syndrome that can be cured. Here's how. 1. Show them the collateral damage. Most visionary leaders think that everyone else is just as flexible, open-minded, and capable of dealing with ambiguity and contradiction as they are. Hence, they don't really understand the damage they cause when they spray the workplace with their carpet bombs. Make a list of a half-dozen specific instances where people have been worried or confused, or better yet, made bad decisions as a result of misinterpreting talking to think as gospel. Choose examples that aren't going to kill anyone's career. Have a quiet, charge-neutral, fact-based discussion with the visionary leader, and show them the real effect of their actions. Enlist the help of others to back up your case with their own examples. The goal should be to have a discussion that isn't confrontational or causes anyone to get defensive. 2. Get them an outlet. Visionary leaders need to talk to think. So it's unrealistic and wrong to expect them to stop. What you need to do is help them find a suitable forum for doing so. Encourage them to hire an executive coach. This is one of the few genuinely good reasons for doing so. Join any one of the many leadership peer groups out there, or put together their own mastermind group, anywhere they can share to their heart's content without doing serious damage to their organization's internal alignment. 3. Set internal boundaries. Just like it's icky when parent A dumps their criticism about parent B onto the kids, your visionary leader needs to see the inappropriateness of oversharing willy-nilly in the organization. Agree broad outlines of where, when, and with who talking to think can happen internally, and ask for permission to hold your leader accountable to those guidelines. 4. Restore healthy debate. The biggest shame of the degeneration of talking to think is the loss of healthy debate at a senior level in the organization. To restore this, set aside specific, agreed times for brainstorming, blue sky, bull sessions, whatever you want to call them, involving your visionary leader, in which you and your peers commit to full engagement and your leader commits to avoiding anything that sounds like a monologue. These sessions can be part of your regular management meetings if you wish, but don't let them take over the whole agenda. What about you? Do you have a visionary leader carpet bombing your organization? If so, which of these 4 steps would help you most? Let me know in the comments below.